Alright, so today I've got a clutch of Bismarck ring pythons hatching. It was definitely not the best results. I wound up with 10 eggs, and you can kind of see them there. I wound up with 10 eggs, and I started to realize towards the end I had a bunch of little flies and maggots crawling around inside the egg box. So I picked the clutch up because I didn't separate this clutch, I just left it as like a clump. And the egg right in the middle of the clump obviously went bad, and the mold was spreading to the other eggs and stuff, which usually I had never had an issue with. But there was all these little flies and maggots crawling around in there, so at the end of incubation, I kind of pulled the eggs apart and stuck them in a different container just to get them away from the flies and the moldy eggs. And I ended up, the eggs I put in the other container, 4 out of 5 of them came out, and I cut the 5th one, and I just, looking at it, it looks to be dead. So I think I only got 4 babies out of 10 eggs, which kind of sucks. But on the same note, I've been wanting to breed ring pythons since I was a little kid, so it's still exciting. You see there's still some of these little flies crawling around. A little pile of babies there. Ring pythons are really cool. Yeah, if you go back and look at one of my last videos, you'll see me, feisty little guy. You'll see me pulling the eggs from the mother. You can see that orange is something that, let's see if I can kind of shadow this a little bit better. That orange is something that you never really see in pythons. Pythons or boas, that's like a albino milk snake kind of color. Feisty off the hop, just like the parents. But there's some variation, like all the ones I got are pretty banded. It sucks because I cut open the other eggs with the dead babies, and there was a couple that were totally patternless, just orange with a black head, which is what I was wanting to hold back. But you gotta take what you can get. It's kind of cool too, looking at these. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up very good, but they're like a different. This one's like a yellowy orange, and this one's just like an electric orange. But feisty little suckers. And this one's got real funky patterns, a lot of black and broken orange bands instead of this one is pretty solid banded, which is really cool. Almost like a little black-headed python, like just that, the head shape and everything. But yeah, this one is cool. Like dog bones on the side. Really cool. I might have to hold 1 or 2 back. We got those 2. Got this little fella. And we'll see. I've heard that they're a bit of a bugger to get feeding, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. But just a really, really neat little python. Next clutch, I'm definitely gonna separate the eggs. And again, too, like, well, they all went full term almost. There's gotta be something wrong, but it was the female's first clutch as well. Awesome little python. And as they grow, that orange fades out to like it's like an olivey, greeny, orangey kind of color with the black bands, but highly, highly iridescent snake. This other one is really cool. This is more of a kind of striped, aberrant pattern. Got some really funky patterns on this one. But yeah, I've seen people hatch out like totally patternless, so they're just straight orange with a black head. I've also seen people hatch out like solid black ones too. So they're quite variable, which is neat because a lot of the pythons that I work with are just like a solid color, so there is no real variance. So this is pretty exciting. But yeah, there's a couple more eggs sitting there that I cut, but it looks like the babies are dead inside, so I'll see. Either way, 4 babies for sure, which is exciting enough for me. Yeah, this one's really cool. So yeah, I'll let them shed out, get them feeding, and then I'll try and sex them later on and see what kind of ratios. Let's see if it'll focus on this thing's head, but they're so small, it's hard to get it to focus. And I'm a snake guy, not a camera guy, so don't judge me. But yeah, that's cool. I figured I'd show those. And then another kind of cool tidbit, I guess, is I guess now I'll be vending the CRBE Reptile Expo in Toronto in the middle of September. So for anybody out there, come see me. I'll have some cool captive bred pythons and monitors and Dominican red mountain boas and all that stuff. Yeah, these guys are so cool. But yeah, I'll get these set up and then typical procedure. Wait for them to shed, start feeding trials. I'm not sure, I might have to, you know, stick some chick fuzz on a pinky or try ASF pinkies or something. We'll see, whatever it takes. But yeah, super cool little python. Like you never see that color on a python. It's my exciting news for the day, and yeah, hopefully get these guys established and maybe get some more next year.